Good morning and good afternoon, dear followers. Greetings from the United States. Then today's stream, that is entitled Breakfast Intellectual Bites, is devoted to three concepts: passion, teaching, and tutoring. Then I would like to start with Bon Jovi's idea about passion. Then nothing is more important than passion. No matter what you do, you should be passionate about it. Then generally that's right, because passion is a strong desire that can get you do amazing things. That's the fuel for action. When you have a passion for something, it doesn't matter whether you hate it, you still love it. Then today we have, although according to the announcement there is only one guest, we have two guests. And we have today Xiaoming. Xiaoming, hello.
Hello, Victoria.
I'm so happy you have accepted the invitation. Then Xiaoming is going to introduce our today's guest. Xiaoming is on the board of the Ozark Literacy Council. That's an organization that generally helps people with different things. Then Xiaoming is going to share what the purpose of the organization is and what is or who is that guest that you can't see yet.
Hello, my name is Xiaoming, and I come from China, and I live in Beijing for almost 20 years. I moved here in Fayetteville, Arkansas for about 4 years. And actually, my English is not good.
It's okay. It's good. That's good. You master English. Okay, pretty good.
So when I moved here, I cannot understand what people saying, and it's really difficult even for me to get the driving license. So I think I need to practice my English. So I try to find a school. I was lucky. Then I find Ozark Literacy Council in Northwest Arkansas. It's a nonprofit organization, and almost all the teachers are volunteers there.
Okay.
Yes, so I went there. Then it was amazing. Then I met a lot of warm-hearted volunteers, my teacher, and I knew a lot of friends. At that the most interesting lesson is from Margaret, my tutor. And at that time, she gave us class about American culture, and also another one is on current events. And each time when she gave us class, she will brought a big pan of different dessert.
Okay, that's good. She was feeding you.
Yes, so a lot of students, we gather in the classroom, we eating, we listening, and we practicing our English. Oh, I was so exciting. But at that time, my English is not good, could enter the advanced class to listen, to understand everything. But I tried, and at last I can catch up with them. And Margaret also met me one by one for several years. She helped me, she tutoring my English writing, reading, and comprehension. And even though I have a lot of problems in my usual life, she will tell me how to do that. So as my point of view, I think a good tutor must be a friend, a teacher, a guide, and a helper of a new foreign's life. I think it's my opinion. And I think Margaret have all of these qualities. And she also with great patience. Sometimes my husband said, "Oh, Margaret was so sad to have such bad student like you." But Margaret never complained about that. She always encouraged me. Now I think learning English and meet with Margaret every week is very exciting. Every week I'm looking forward for next week, what time we can meet each other. So,
Okay.
yes, this is Margaret.
Okay, then that's a short introduction about Margaret, our guest, who is a tutor at the Ozark Literacy Council. Okay, thank you so much. And now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce Margaret Ents. Then Margaret Ents graduated from Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania in 1985 with a bachelor degree in economics. She worked in IT for 25 years. And then she came to the Northwest Arkansas Community College in 2008 for an associate degree in nursing. Then she worked as a nurse, as a school nurse, as far as I know, for a couple of years. And then she began teaching classes and tutoring at the Ozark Literacy Center in 2017 on a volunteering basis. Moreover, Margaret is also active in various ministries at her home church, Fellowship Bible Church of Northwest Arkansas in Rogers. Hello, Margaret. That's great meeting you. That's our today's guest, Margaret Ents, who is a tutor at the Ozark Literacy Council. And we're going to discuss about three concepts: passion, teaching, and tutoring. Okay, Margaret, I have the first question to you. Could you trace a difference between teaching and tutoring? Is there any difference, and what is much more fun to teach or to tutor?
Well, every part of tutoring involves teaching. When I think of teaching, I usually think of teaching classes and groups of people in terms of coming up with subjects and activities, where tutoring is more one-on-one. So it's very personal, and you can really get to know your student much better in a tutoring environment than you can teaching a class of a large group of people. So for this purpose, we're going to talk about teaching as being in a group and tutoring as being one-on-one.
Okay. Do you need passion either to teach or to tutor?
I think we are lifelong learners. I think that we need to find things that we are passionate about. And I think it's a gift when we find something that we enjoy doing, that helps other people, and that brings us great satisfaction. So yes, I think that not everyone will enjoy teaching, but I think everyone can find something that they're passionate about, that they enjoy doing, regardless of how old they are, regardless of what career they are. There's something out there for everyone to do.
Okay, Margaret, then you had quite the complex career in different spheres: IT, nursing. Finally, you came to tutoring. Do you think that that's the best that you have had in your life and you still have? Or that's a kind of transition period? Still, there is something more that will appear in your life?
Well, in each phase, there was always something to learn and something to skills to acquire, and that is a lifelong process. So, even in IT, I was learning about new coding and new language and putting that into practice. And then in nursing, learning about the medical field and how the body works and putting that into practice. And teaching is really a culmination of that, because I talk to my students about what they want to learn about and what they want to, what skills they want to acquire. And then we find materials for that, and we continue to grow and learn. And I learn as much as they do. I mean, they're learning about something they're passionate about, but I'm learning about something that I never knew before. So learning, I think, is a lifelong process. I think we never stop learning.
Okay, Margaret, do you have a motto that you try to follow in life?
Yes, I am a follower of Jesus, and he is loving, and he calls us to love God and love others. And my tutoring and my teaching is a way that I can love my students and try to help them. It's very difficult to come to a foreign country and not speak the language and not know the culture. And it's a privilege for me to explain how things work here and maybe to help them with problems they have, or to connect them to other resources or other skills. So it's a blessing for me. Hopefully, it's a blessing for them too.
Okay, then you are tutoring now at the Ozark Literacy Council. Tell
Yes.
me, please, why have you chosen Ozark Literacy Council and not another organization? Because I'm sure that there are many other nonprofit organizations here that provide with different services. Why, namely, Ozark Literacy Council?
Well, I think the OLC has a lot of contacts with internationals, and
Okay.
it's very rewarding for me that I don't have to go visit all these different countries to meet people, but they're coming here to Northwest Arkansas. And so I learn about China, I learn about Moldova, I learn about Colombia from the ladies that come here. And I like the OLC because all their services are free to the internationals, and they really are trying to help them be successful in any way that they can. And I think that's a very good purpose and a very good goal.
Okay, if you have the possibility to promote Ozark Literacy Council in a sentence,
Mhm.
then how would you promote it? Then what would be the sentence about?
I think the OLC offers resources for internationals to become successful here in American society and American culture. And so if you're struggling with language or culture or society or jobs, it's a place to go and get help and find people that want to make you more successful in this culture.
Okay, Margaret, could you tell me, are all is passion a part of the OLCE?
Yes, I think because it's all volunteer, the people that are involved because they're passionate about helping people and about seeing people grow and about teaching and training. It's nice to have a job and get paid, but you really find who's passionate when they are working and they're not paid. And
Oh,
this is an unpaid staff, and everyone that's there is there because they feel very strongly about what they do. And
have,
oh yeah, I was
yeah,
going to
yeah, go on.
teaching is a benefit to your students, but it's also a benefit to you. And it's very rewarding to see your students grow and learn and adapt and be comfortable in this culture. So it's not just one way, it's both ways. Both the teacher and the student benefit.
Have you ever thought, Margaret, about starting a nonprofit organization of your own?
I don't enjoy the running and the business and the fundraising. I enjoy helping students. So if I can do that and focus on that, then I'm very happy.
Okay. Before we go to the strategies that you generally use as tutor to make the people like staying here in the Northwest Arkansas, could you tell me, are there any challenges that generally a tutor faces?
Hmm. I think, one of the things that's very important is to build a relationship with your student, because
Okay.
you have to know what your student's interested in, and they have to be comfortable enough to talk to you and share with you about their experiences and about their history and what's their family. So I think the challenge is to build that relationship. And then once you've built that relationship, you can ask them what they're interested in doing, and then form your lessons based upon what they're doing.
Do you think that this rapport that you're speaking about has a
Mhm.
kind of impact on the achievements?
Mhm. Absolutely. I think if you build a good relationship, your student is excited about coming to class and about learning. And I never want my student to think, "Oh, I have to meet with her again." I want them to be passionate too, and excited, and they're looking forward to the lesson as much as you're looking forward to the lesson.
Okay, going straightly to the lesson, could you tell me where do you generally take? First of all, could you tell me what subjects or disciplines do you teach at the
Mhm.
Ozark Literacy Council? That's the first question.
Well, the OLC has different separates their students based upon their level of knowledge of the language. The beginner students usually work one-on-one with tutors that speak their native language so they can help them. And then after they're in the beginning stage, then they move up to the intermediate stage where they talk about grammar and culture and life skills. And then once they have a good grasp of those subjects, then they can go up to the advanced level where we do more reading, we do more group projects, we talk about holidays and customs, and we've talked about current events, what's going on in the world, what so they separate the students based upon the level, and then have material that is appropriate to that level.
Okay, where do you generally take the materials from? Do you have books that you use? Because there is a great variety of materials today to teach English as a foreign language, as a second language, or there are some other, I don't know, platforms that you use to search for materials, to gather materials, to borrow materials.
Yeah, I for my current event class, I used a lot of news articles from Voice of America, which kind of presented news based upon the American perspective. I have another tutor that's another student that's interested in history and Black leaders. So I go online and use a lot of information from maybe National Geographic or some of the other news sources. But I try to find material that is easy to understand. So maybe it's more directed towards kids, or but it's still interesting. And I've done books where we will read a chapter in a book and then ask questions about it. It really depends upon the student and what they're passionate about and how much they can understand. But
According to the achievements of your students, what text or materials work the best?
mhm.
Fiction, science fiction, or informative text in general?
I think for me, it's more informative text. And that's just because I'm always interested in learning something new. But the OLC does have book clubs. Um,
Oh?
for international students, and they will select a book for the month and have the students read through that book. So there's different resources for different people.
Okay, if you are coming back to passion, if you had the chance, for example, to associate the word passion to you and to something else, what would you associate the word passion with?
Passion, passion to me means something that is very rewarding,
Okay.
that you enjoy doing and you get benefit from. And you're not just doing it to get a paycheck or because you have to support your family. It's something that if no one were paying you, if no one were telling you had to do it, you would choose to do it on your own anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other concept except passion? Some nouns. I would love that you use some nouns that will, why might be associated to the word passion. Then we have tutoring and teaching, passion, some other.
Yeah, I'm passionate about learning. I'm passionate that, we never come to a point where we think we know everything, that there's
Yeah.
always something that we're excited about or something we don't know or something that we want to keep learning. And I say that everyone should be a lifelong learner, that you should constantly be growing and learning and trying new things. I tell my kids, if you never try it, it could be your most favorite thing and you'll never know. So you will never know what you enjoy or what is rewarding unless you try something new.
And that's the thing that in a discussion before the stream started, I told Margaret and Xiaoming that the more I read, the more I learn, the more I understand that I know nothing, that I know very little, that there is so much more that I am in charge with. That means I have to learn. Okay, could you tell me, could you recommend a book that every person that wants to tutor is supposed to read?
Yeah, there's a really good book called Teaching to Listen, Teaching to Learn. And it's the idea that if we're going to be good teachers, we need to be listening to our students, and we need to know where our students are struggling, and we need to know what they value and what they're interested in and what they're passionate about. So I don't come up with a lesson because it looks good to me and this is what I want to teach. I find a lesson that my students want to learn and want to be I want it to be practical to them. I want it to be useful to them, and I want them to be as excited about the material as I am.
Do you think that an international student or a person that is coming to the United States with a different purpose, staying with kids, I don't know, a great variety of reasons coming to the United States, do you think that an international needs a tutor in here? And if you really believe that the answer is going to be yes, then could you justify your opinion?
Yeah, I think all cultures are very different. All societies are very different. And it's very hard to come into a new culture and understand what the expectations are and how to make friends and how to do all the practical things that you need to do, if it's signing a contract for a lease, or if it's going to the grocery store or knowing where to buy certain things. All those things are difficult. They're all new. But if you have somebody who knows that culture and understands how to do all those things, that can be a great benefit. And, I hope that not only am I teaching students about English and about the language, I'm also a friend that can help them find the things they need to do and help them to be less lonely. Um, because there, as you know, there are a lot of challenges.
Yeah, definitely.
As at the OLC, I mean, we're here to make things easier, to help build those bridges, and to be a resource. Absolutely.
Do you have any plans for the future? What are
Oh,
your plans for the future?
my plans for the future.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I want to teach. I want to teach more classes, and I'm looking for students who want to do more tutoring, because I love that. And I love being in Bible study and meeting ladies that way, and I want to do more of that. I feel very blessed that I have found activities that I enjoy that are very rewarding to me. And I look forward to doing more and more of that. And I hope that everyone that is watching will find something that they're passionate about,
Yeah.
will find something that they want to learn, and take that next step and try it and see if it is a good fit for them. But I think for all of us, we need to be lifelong learners, and we need to find those things that we're passionate about.
Okay, Margaret, could you tell me what are, from your perspective, what are those features of the character that the tutor should possess in such a way that he has this kind, builds these kinds of rapport with the student, he cares about the student, he, I don't know, provides the student, he listens to the student and provides the students with the materials that the student is going to like, then what are those features of the character that the tutor should necessarily possess in such a way that the students that he or she tutors are a success?
Yeah, you know, I think the most important thing is that we as tutors don't feel like we know everything.
Good.
We don't feel like we have all the answers and we are telling someone else what those are. I think as tutors, we have to model being learner, and we have to have an interest in our students. You know, our students come from our students from all over the world, and they have different life experiences than we do, and they have different perspectives than we do, and we need to be interested in learning about them and in learning from them, and not think that, well, this is my lesson and this is what I'm going to teach, but thinking, okay, what is this person's perspective, and is it helpful for them, and are they interested in them? So, you know, I think that that is so important, because I want students to be passionate too, and I want to model that for them.
Could you provide with some recommendations for both tutors and students, international students here in the United States?
Yeah, I would say, you know, if you are a learner, you can be a tutor. If you know the culture, if you know the language, then you can be a tutor. So I think anyone can do tutoring, and you will learn from your students what works and what doesn't work, and what's good and what's not so good. But if you have the culture background and the language background, you can be a tutor. And I think, you know, I think for people who want to be tutored, um, finding an organization like the OLC is just really key, because you can find people that want to help you and want to provide you for resources. And I would say, you know, go into you know, look for those organizations that help international students. I go to Fellowship Bible Church. We have a huge ministry with international students. So that could be a way to get involved too. There are associations on the university campus that help international students. That's a way to find people too. And then if you can find nonprofits like the Ozark Literacy Council, they're there to help international students too. So there are a lot of resources. You just have to know where to look.
Okay, then we're going to add Xiaoming to our stream. Can you hear me? Okay, then we have Xiaoming, can you hear me now? Okay, I can hear you. Can you speak? Can you hear me now? Oh, she can't hear. Okay, I wanted to ask Xiaoming about you being passionate and what are those adjectives that characterize you as a passionate tutor. But I think she can't hear us. Okay, I think that she simply switched off the microphone. Xiaoming, can you hear me now? No, she can't. Okay, then as we don't have Xiaoming to speak about you being passionate about tutoring, I want that you characterize yourself. That means what are those features of the character that help you to be a very good tutor?
I think that, one of the things that I love is that I'm interested in a lot of different things. So, I get to learn about a lot of things, whether it's history, whether it's holidays or culture or religious texts or books. I think it helps to be interested and to always be looking to learn something new.
Then you have the interest first.
Right.
Then you are that curious, then you have that curiosity that is so important. Okay. Any other feature? Then curiosity, that's number one.
Yeah.
Feature number one in your character. Another feature.
I
want three.
You want three? Okay. I
Yeah.
think patience is really important.
Patience. Okay.
Because, sometimes the language barriers are difficult. And it can be easy to get frustrated with not being able to communicate what you want to communicate. So I think that, going over things several different times in several different ways is really important. The last thing, I think it helps to be creative. Not all students are the same. And so what worked well for one student may not work well for another student. So you have to find creative ways to get your point across and to teach and to make it interesting and to make it fun. Yeah.
Okay, then our creative, curious, and patient Margaret would like to make a final comment to all the people that understand that tutoring is their passion. What final comment would you like to make for all the novice tutors?
The other thing I think is so important in tutoring is you need to love your students and you need to want the best for them and you need to want to see them overcome obstacles and grow as people. And that is the reward. That's reward when you see them using language skills or developing or growing or having friendships. That is such a great, that's why I do what I do, because I want to see my students grow and I want the best for them.
Okay, then
Yeah.
passion is love.
Passion is love. Absolutely.
Love is tutoring.
You cannot separate those. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Margaret, for such a wonderful discussion. We really believe that many other international students will have the possibility to meet you, and you are going to make a change in their life, because we have very few patient, curious, and what more? And creative tutors today, because generally it's very difficult to be patient, it's very difficult to be creative, it's very difficult to combine all the three features, because we are humans and we are impacted by other things that we come into contact with. Thank you so much for sharing ideas. Now, don't forget, a desire fueled by passion will bring changes in your life. It doesn't matter what you like: cooking, reading, sharing ideas, teaching or tutoring. Do it with passion. Don't try to fuel the desire with passion. Dear followers, be passionate. Don't forget about it. And see you soon at another episode of Breakfast Intellectual Bites. Thank you so much for following us. Thank you so much, Margaret, for a wonderful discussion. That was great meeting you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye. See you soon.